Okay, so this is video 2 of a multiple video series. Hopefully you watched the first one on Newbie PPC about setting up your account, and we left one part out, and that's because that's a very important part, and that's setting up your keywords for the search network. So as a quick review, the search network is right for you to get started with if you've got a retail site, or what I call a wallet out site. In other words, you don't have a free report, you don't have something to give away for free. You basically need your buyers or your visitors to be in a buying mode. So you want to treat those keywords very differently, and the search network is very good for that. The other thing that Search Network is good for is keyword research. With the Content Network, you're not actually bidding on keywords. You're just placing ads on blogs and other websites that might be talking about a subject that would be good for you to advertise on. But with the Search Network, you're bidding on exact keywords that people are searching for. So it's very good for doing keyword research. In both of those cases, you want to be very careful, and you want to make sure that you are only bidding on exact match. The biggest reason people fail when getting started with AdWords is because they bid rather recklessly, and they bid on broad and phrase match terms. And what that means is, even if you're bidding on, say, weight loss supplements, if you're bidding on phrase match or broad match, people might be searching for free weight loss supplements, weight loss supplement reviews, various terms that aren't necessarily buying keywords. But if you're using broad and phrase match, even though you didn't bid on those keywords, Google will quote-unquote help you by delivering your ads for those terms, and you don't want that. With exact match, you only get your ads served up for the exact keywords that you bid on. So you can quit this video right now and bid on exact match only and be ahead of the game. The other thing is, you want to bid on very, very targeted terms. In most retail or e-commerce sites, the typical conversion rate is 1 or 2%. That means that 98% of your visitors won't buy, even if it's a targeted keyword. So you have to be very, very specific with the keywords you bid on. And then, of course, the final thing is, don't get started with the display network until you know your search network terms. I'm not saying you can't ever bid on it, but if you have a wallet out website, you want to make sure to avoid bidding on the display network. So with that said, let's move on and look at an actual account, and let's set up your keywords for your e-commerce site. Okay, so you remember when I said when you're bidding in the search network, you want to make sure that you have very, very specific terms. And in my first video, I set up a quick example having a campaign of weight loss for women. Now, in this example, we're assuming you have an e-commerce site, and you probably don't have an e-commerce product just that's generically labeled for women. You probably have weight loss supplements or something like that. So in that case, we are specifically going to target weight loss supplements. So I'm going to name my campaign weight loss supplements. I'm going to name my ad group weight loss supplements. And then, of course, I'm going to add very specific, very targeted keywords along the lines of weight loss supplements. Now, here's where most people go wrong. Most people will hit this button that says Add Keywords. They'll select the ad campaign, they'll select the ad group, and let's just say that you add a bunch of keywords like this, and it's good. They're very targeted. They all have to do specifically with weight loss supplements. But the biggest thing that's wrong with this is that these are all broad match terms. You see, when you don't put brackets around your terms, you're basically giving Google free rein to go and find other maybe related, maybe not so related search terms that aren't what you exactly targeted. So a better solution is to not add keywords through this little window right here, and especially not without that bracket, those brackets around them. A better solution is to simply head on over to this Opportunities tab. Then you go down to the keyword tool, and remember you're doing this while you're logged into your account, and you type in your phrases here. So now we've added 5 or 6 very targeted keywords. We're going to check this box that says only show ideas closely related to my search terms. Then Google is going to go and find terms related. They all are going to have to do with your specific targeted keywords. Now, we're not quite done, because remember what I said, that you do not want to start off with broad match terms. So all you have to do is uncheck this broad match type and select exact match. That way you can pick all of these keywords, and your ad will only show up when someone types in these exact search terms. And I cannot stress how extremely important that is. Most people fail at AdWords because they don't take this single step. This single step alone will save you lots of money when getting started with AdWords, and you will get a lot more accurate search results in addition to that. So this is an extremely important step. Make sure those brackets are around your keywords. So now all we have to do is select all of these, hit add keywords, confirm that yes, we want it in the weight loss supplement campaign, we want it in the weight loss supplement ad group, and we hit save and continue. Now when we go back to our campaign, we can head on over to the keywords tab, and there we go. Google has helped us by finding a ton of keywords that all have specifically to do with weight loss supplements. So now you can bid on those weight loss supplements keywords, drive them to your targeted weight loss supplement page with a very attractive weight loss supplement offer. Maybe something like, buy a 1-month supply and get 2 months free, or something like that. And you'll be able to test which keywords convert for you and which ones don't. Now, before we let loose on this and have you start spending money, let's just go over one last thing, and that's determining what you should pay for these keywords. Now, we're going to set your keyword bids at the ad group level. We don't really want to mess with each individual keyword. We're going to assume all of these, for starters, are going to have similar conversion rates, and then we'll talk about adjusting those bids later. But what we want to do is go back to this ad group, and we're going to decide what you're willing to pay for a visitor. Okay, so let's talk about how I determine what I and my clients are willing to spend per click when we are starting out with a campaign only knowing a limited amount of information. Okay, so let's assume that you sell bottles of weight loss supplements in 30-day supplies for $50 a piece. Let's also assume that the average customer that buys your product buys 3 months worth, whether it's 3 months all in one go or they do recurring and the average number of months that they stay with you is 3 months. Well, that means that you would have $150 in revenue. And let's say that the cost of those 3 bottles of supplements is $60. That leaves you $90 in profit. So each customer, not each visitor, but each customer of yours is worth an average of $90. Okay, so that's our starting off point. And of course, you can adjust those numbers to fit your business model depending on what you're selling. Now let's say that it takes 50 visitors to get 1 purchase. So that means that 2% of your visitors end up buying. That means your value per visitor is $1.80. Now that's your break-even point. So some people will be fine with that, because if they're just testing their keywords to find out what their most profitable keywords are, then all they care about is breaking even, because they're going to then take that information and then go do SEO on their site and start to optimize for the most profitable keywords, and they got to do their research for free. So you might decide that you're willing to spend as much as $1.80 per click on your keywords, and if that were the case, you'd be done. Now, if you're like most other businesses, you probably want to profit off of this investment. So if you want to make $2 for every dollar you spend, well then in that case you should bid 90 cents per click. If you want to make $3 per dollar invested, you should bid 60 cents per click. Now again, this is just an example. You should apply your own numbers for your own business, but hopefully this gives you an idea of where you should start in terms of your bidding price. So in this example, I've decided that I'm just doing research. I want to break even, and I'm assuming that I'm going to convert at about 2%, and I want to gather some metrics and find out what my most profitable keywords are, and I'm hoping to just break even for starting out. So I'm going to be really aggressive, and I'm going to bid $1.80 per visitor for those search terms that I already picked. So in that case, I'm going to go back to my AdWords account, and I'm going to go right here to this ad group, and I'm going to say that I'm willing to spend a maximum of $1.80. Now that doesn't mean that Google is going to charge me $1.80 every time someone visits my website. However, that is a max, so I'm telling them I am not willing to pay more than that per visitor. Now don't let those numbers scare you. You can do your own math based on the price of your products, and you can bid a lot less. There's nothing saying you can't start out bidding 5, 10, 20 cents. I mean, whatever your numbers say you should start out at. The important thing is that you kind of do a little bit of math and just figure out what the best number to start out is and jump in. Now, I have to go back and make one more change because I set my campaign daily budget at a very low limit. I've done my research. I've decided I can afford $1.80 per visitor. I'm probably going to end up spending $1 or $1.20 per visitor. And what I want to do is go back to my campaign and change my daily budget. And again, this number doesn't matter. I mean, it does have to be higher than what your cost per click is, but it can be as low as you're comfortable spending. If you only want to spend $2 a day and get 1 or 2 visitors a day, that's fine. I recommend a budget that's going to get you at least 100 visitors a day. So in that case, I should be willing to spend, if I'm willing to spend $1.80 per click, I probably should be willing to spend $180 per day. And Google even warns you if you make some drastic changes to your account. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and be reckless and have a budget of $180 a day. Now remember, just because I've done this in the example, that doesn't mean you need to spend that much. Spend $5 a day, spend $10 a day, spend $20 a day, whatever you're comfortable with. The important thing is that you jump in and just do it. Start testing. Start finding those keywords that are just going to be golden nuggets for you. And you might be surprised. You might find that weight loss supplement isn't that great of a keyword, but safe weight loss supplements, although it gets low volume, it converts like crazy. Well, there is some great insider information you can then go and apply to your SEO strategy. Start using those keywords in your ad copy, and what you'll find is you'll find very, very valuable keywords that convert at much higher than average rates, and you can stop bidding on those other obvious keywords that everyone else is fighting over and that probably aren't converting as well. So that's the biggest secret to success with getting started with AdWords in the search network, and I hope that helps you. So that's the biggest secret to success with getting started in the search network. I hope that helps you feel a lot more comfortable with just jumping in and starting to test your budget. Remember, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can spend a nickel or dime per click, and you can spend as little as $1 or $2 per day. But the important thing is that you start testing and start finding those keywords that are going to be profitable for you. I do hope these videos have been helpful and they've helped you feel comfortable getting started with an AdWords account. I really, really do believe that AdWords is just a wonderful business building machine, and hopefully you can use it to your company's advantage starting right away. If you'd like a free checklist, this is actually the same checklist I use for my own clients, for my own companies, to make sure that I've dotted every I and crossed every T and done everything absolutely perfectly to make sure that my advertising dollars are stretching as far as possible. Feel free to opt in on the form to the right, and I'll send that checklist right off to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.